women who aspire to be in leadership do to get to their goal of being in sales leadership?
I have three sort of core piece of advice that I would give to someone if they're looking to really ramp up their leadership skills. And I think the first thing is everyone looks externally when they think about being a leader, but I think the most important thing you can start by doing is looking internally. Figure out who you are, figure out and understand how you learn. How do you ingest information? How do you understand it? Do you understand it to a level where you can then communicate it back to a team? Like, is it something that you need to work on? Is your communication problematic? How does your team ingest information? Another thing I would say is discipline. Discipline, we all hate it, but discipline leads to execution. I think you've got to eat the frog, right? Like, no one wants to eat the frog, but you've got to eat the frog. You've got to tackle the really tough projects first. You've got to tackle it. You've got to start it. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just start it. Break it up, but for God's sake, start. If you're not sure how to do the task, source information. This is why your network is so important. By the time you're ready to step into a leadership role, you should have a solid network of mentors who have your back and who are ready to help push you into that role. A mentor and a sponsor, obviously two different things. We won't get into that, but mentors are important because they're not directly related to your success. So they can give you completely unbiased advice. So you should have a really top quality circle of mentors. Failing that, get some and research what you need to off the internet. And then the final thing I would say is, and this is something that I learned at my current company because it's very much our culture there, but this was never taught to me previously, is that curiosity is a superpower. People massively underrate curiosity. I think if you are curious, you need to stoke the flame. You need to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. You need to kick over the rocks. You need to run down the rabbit holes, pull the thread, because when you do discover something and finally put the pieces of the puzzle together on a really challenging problem, you'll elevate into a new level of productivity. I can guarantee you that. And again, as we kind of just touched on, listen to podcasts, read books, educate yourself. If you're not progressing or if you're struggling with something, like, not to sound like a ball breaker, but that's on you. There are plenty of resources available to empower you to get over that. Expand your periphery, explore stuff, be curious.